Welcome to Better Preparedness. On today's episode, we're going to talk about folding solar panels. Are they worth it? I think they are. Stick around. Got lots of really important points and using these things properly. What are solar panels? Well, not to get super technical, but essentially these panels help capture the sun's energy, not the sun's light, but the sun's energy. And at the other end comes electricity. In between, there's all things about photons and various technical things. But the important thing for us is that you generate power. Now, I'm going to be talking about the ECEEN 10W folding solar panel. The technical output is 5 volts or 1.5 amps max. It is listed as water resistant, so you can get this part wet. The backside has this neoprene pouch, and inside your things would be fairly protected because there's a water resistant zipper. I wouldn't dunk this into the water, but if I guess you try to charge your device in the rain, not that you'll get really good sun energy, but I guess you could. I don't think it's worth it. Inside this pouch, when you buy it, you get these 4 carabiners. So these would allow you to attach it to a backpack if you want to charge it while you're hiking. You also get a micro USB cable. It's only about 20 centimeters long or something like that, almost about 2/3 of a foot. And you also get a manual, always well worth a read. What size of solar panel do you need? Well, this is a 10W. For me, the purpose of this is to charge a battery bank, phone, and an iPad, for example. I went with this because it's more likely that I'm going to have it with me, and it's nice and compact. Should you use this over a battery bank? Well, hopefully you've seen my other episode, and I'll link it up here. My other episode about not being in situations where you run out of battery power for your phone, because that creates all kinds of potential bad situations. And we talked about wall plugs, we talked about car electrical outlets, and we talked about battery banks. Now, if you're not indoors, well, okay, you don't have that. If you don't have a running car, well, you can't really use that either. If your battery pack or battery bank runs out of juice, well, it's not going to serve you very much. This can serve you as long as there's access to sunlight. So this could go on for months and months and months. That's what I like about this, is that it gives you that additional degree of flexibility. I think you should really consider a few extras when you do buy a solar panel. And I really do like this one. I'm going to just link in the description all the things that I have on here. I really recommend you get a USB power meter. Now, this is the TacLife MUT-01. Bought it off Amazon. I really like the fact that this can show me how much power I'm generating. If you just plug this in right now in the shade, there's not a lot of sun energy. My phone's going to probably beep like it usually does when I plug it into something. And that's going to tell me that it's charging, but how well is it charging? Is it charging as well as if I placed it into the direct sunlight? You'll see a massive difference. So do the tests. And I also like the fact that when I was running these tests with the USB power meter, this is a fairly old now USB lightning cable, and this is a brand new one. This one was about, I think it was like 15 to 20% more power was getting to my device through this cable. So by running the test with a USB power meter, and this only cost me about $15. I think there's even some cheaper ones. I'll link those in the description below. I also highly recommend you have an extension cable. And this is a 4 meters, so this is a bit overkill. But this can be put into the gear slot, the gear pouch. Now, ECEEN, if you're watching this, please put some elastics in here. And if ECEEN ever puts elastics in, hopefully I'm the one to thank. But if you open up this pouch, everything is just going to fall out. I would like to have, for a few cables and some things, to have a few elastic loops in here so that you can cinch down your gear. But why do you need an extension cable? Well, you need an extension cable for a good reason. This needs to go in the sun. This doesn't like the sun. This will overheat. So you can have this in the sun and this inside your car. This could be inside your tent. This could be inside your pack. Simply put, this could be 2 meters away from you in the direct sun, so you don't have to be sitting there cooking while you watch your phone. So this can be where you are, in the shade. And I also recommend that you look at the plugs that you need. Now, as I mentioned, this came with a fairly basic micro USB cable, which suits me because I have a Samsung S7 right here. But you can also look at having a couple of different types of cables with you, so you know that you have your and your partner's gear covered depending on what you use. But I also like this Chafin multi thing. This is a 5-in-1, so the electricity comes in through this USB, and then you can charge up to 5 things if you really want to at once. Now this particular one has a lightning cable, it has a normal USB, and it has 2 micro USBs, and then a vintage Apple thing. I'm going to put some more of these in the description below. But having this would allow you to charge quite a few different things, and you can get them also with USB-C. I don't really have anything at USB-C right now. There's a few things you need to keep in mind. It's not very fast. So if you're going to watch your device charge, it's about kind of like watching the wheat grow in Saskatchewan, Canada. It doesn't happen very quickly. So what you need to do is you need to have time available to you. So if you think you're going to be running out of power, if you think you need to charge some more battery packs for the night, definitely start earlier in the day, and because it does take time. And the bigger the device, like an iPad will take longer than a smartphone, and the bigger the battery bank, this is a 5,000 milliamp, but a bigger one will take longer, naturally. Direct sun is what counts. If you put this in the shade, yes, you will get a charge, but you're not going to get anywhere near quality of charge as if you put this in the full sun. And you want it ideally perpendicular to the sun. Now the sun is right here, and you would have optimal, if we were in the sunlight, we'd have optimal charging. If you have it like that, you're going to get fewer rays, and also keep in mind that in the summertime, the sun through the mid part of the day will be more overhead, so you get more concentration of rays. In the wintertime, the winter sun will stay much lower in the horizon and also produce a lot less energy, and those days are shorter, so you have less charging time. So keep all those things in mind. The basic is you need time on this panel to charge anything. So you might ask yourself, how do you actually plug your device or your battery bank into the panel? Well, remember that USB port right in the back here? I'm going to plug the extension cord into this because I'm away from the sun, of course. I'm going to plug this in to the port. So this is my extension cord here. For the sake of this demo, what I did is I attached the USB power tester, and then I have the cable to my phone. Now, this has shown me that it's running. In the speckled shade here, you can see the speckled shade, I'm only getting 0.2 amps. You can see that right there, 0.2 amps. So really not very much. And I'm getting about 4.3 volts. Now watch what happens when I put this in the direct sun. Now here's a big difference. I've oriented the panel. I'm going to actually go over there and take a photo of it because it's hard to show you right now. But I am now getting 4.76 volts, and I'm getting 0.5 amps. That is substantially more than in the speckled shade. So that's a significant difference. Now keep in mind, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. So I'm getting still good power. I've got about 2.5 hours left of sunlight here in South Africa in summertime. And keep that in mind. But that shows that there's a significant difference between the speckled shade. If you're backpacking, you would want to have this panel trying to face the sun as much as possible. Maybe even on your front if you're walking towards the sun. Because if it's on the back, it's really not getting a good quality amount of sunlight. So be proactive. Make sure you have the right cables, and you have an extension cord, and get the USB power meter. It's only $10–15, and with that you can run tests on all kinds of things. From your wall outlet you can test different cables, what works best, and if you have a cable that's 20% more efficient than the other, I'd go with the efficient cable for this because that's maximizing your charging time. In the comment section below, please put your experiences and what's worked for you. Is there a panel that you prefer? Is there a style or a size of panel that you've had really good success with for maybe even larger projects? Click that like and subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching. Better Preparedness, and going to put some other videos for you to watch up there. Thanks.